Okay, so can you please confirm that you can hear me? Perfect. Thank you. Okay, awesome. So here's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna, as I said, we're gonna do some exercise to get us ready for next week. I hope that the quiz that went well, went fine for everybody. So in terms of exercise for next week, we're gonna start today. We're gonna carry on in the beginning of our next class, and then in our second half of next class, we're gonna be doing the test. So I'm just gonna go through exercise 15 here, just to give a brief explanation. Very, in a way, similar approach as the exercise that we went through just now. Step by step, you're gonna build this vehicle app. We have a few classes here. It's a little bit more evolving because we have 3 classes being vehicle and abstract class, okay? So very important to check this out. Vehicle is abstract, and we have 2 inherited classes from vehicle. And in vehicle, we have a constructor, which is an implemented constructor. It's a real constructor. But then we have operate, which is an abstract method, okay? And this has been described here in the exercise details. You're gonna see vehicle class, public abstract string operate. You have the entire declaration here. You just have to do the implementations of them. So we have the bicycle class, the car class. So again, vehicle is abstract class. Bicycle is a concrete class that inherits from vehicle. Car is a concrete class that inherits from vehicle as well. They have different properties. All of the properties, they are auto-implemented. As you see, there are no private fields, okay? So you can auto-implement all of them. And then we have operate, which is abstract in the parent, but it is concrete in the child. So the definition of both classes, you can find them here. You can find what operate will do. It will just return a message. And there is a graphical user interface here that you're gonna be having a little bit of work to do here. We have a group box surrounding everything. We have a bunch of labels. We have a bunch of text fields. We have a numeric up and down for the passengers and for the tire size. We have a combo box for the fuel and the terrain. We have a radio button here for car or bicycle, and we have a button that will create either a car or a bicycle. Remember, car and bicycle, first of all, they are vehicles, both of them. Okay, so we're gonna have a list list that you will be adding the created vehicles to this list. Okay, and all the details are here. You have a try-catch block to handle an exception. Now, what I would like to do, the way I would like to break this down, this task, is by giving you a head start. I'm gonna give you half an hour to get done with the classes and the initial project, and then I will have a look and I will do the classes with you, okay? And then you go back and you do the rest of it, okay? But focus first on getting the class done. Then in half an hour, I'll reconvene, I'll demonstrate the classes here for you, and then you carry on to the second part. But if you are fast and you get it all done, you can move on to exercise 16, okay? So again, if you get this done, move on to exercise 16. Don't waste your time. Get things flowing, okay? So as usual, I'll be around. I'll be listening to any questions. I'll be addressing any questions. If you have questions about your assignment 4 as well, by all means, you can ask me as well. So use this time the best you can. You have half an hour. I'll put some music here. If you have any questions, let me know. If you don't want to listen to the music, you can just mute. And then again, in half an hour, we restart things here and I'll do some demonstration. Any questions before you get started? Anything? Again, I know it's a different setup, but don't keep questions, don't hold things from me from asking, okay? I have a question here. In list, vehicles are added only when form is loaded once? No, actually, let's have a look at this. So, I think that, let's see here. Actually, when the form, let me see, when the form gets loaded here. Actually, the list gets populated when you create the vehicle. So when you click, you run the application, the list is empty. And then you fill out the information, depending on whether it's a car or a bicycle. When you click create vehicle, then that new vehicle, that new car or new bicycle will be added to the list, okay? But only when you click create vehicle, okay? In the onload, it's okay just to create the list, but the list will be empty at this point, at that point of the load. When you click the create vehicle, is when you collect all the information and then you add the object to the list. Awesome. Okay, good question. So get moving and hopefully you can make good use of this time. Correct. So either car or bike, they are being added to the list. The list is, let me check here, just to make sure. Yeah, so the list is a list of vehicles, okay? Vehicle can be a car or a bicycle. So depending on which one it is, you're gonna add one or the other one. As you get things done, if you want to share your code with the others in the class, you can post your chunks of code to Padlet, for example. So you could share your code with your colleagues. I'll leave it up to you. Anyone with any questions there? No one has reached out yet, so just checking to see if there are any questions. Unfortunately, I cannot have a look at your computer there and see if you are stuck or not. I mean, you have to let me know, but you can share your screen with me, you can share your code with me. There are lots of ways that I can support you as you do the exercise, okay? So just keep that in mind. Okay, so so what I'm gonna do is in 10 minutes, I will go through the first part of the exercise, which goes down to step number 2. So I'm gonna go down to the classes, and then I'm going to stop there, and we're going to continue with step 3, which has the UI part. And if step 3, if I don't have a chance to go through it today, we're gonna go through it first thing next class. But you can take this back home, do it with exercise 16, and in the next class we're gonna continue with this. We're gonna close it with demonstration of both of them. But again, in 10 minutes I'll be doing the demonstration of the class part, and I'm gonna give you the code. You can use that as your starting point for the next part, which is the graphical user interface. Okay, does that make sense? How? Okay. Oh, let's see. Okay, so I just saw now a few questions. Okay, is vehicle class, do we need to add abstract? Okay, so let's have a look. So vehicle, look, it's an abstract class, okay? Means operate. Operate is an abstract method. Again, I have a question that was asked in private, so I'm just giving some feedback here. Yes, vehicle is an abstract class, and operate is an abstract method. Yeah, vehicle is an abstract class. Operate is the abstract method. See here, abstract class, and operate is an abstract method. I'm just gonna call a few names of people that I didn't see around today. So if you are there, you can just give me put a note in the chat. So Alvin, Anthony Alvin, Caitlin, I don't see you, Caitlin, Kong Huang, I don't see you, Kong, Evan, Hyusung, Michael Tran, Nazmul, and Tranel. Everybody else I have put presence already. That's okay, Prolina. It's just attendance. I put your attendance there. That's okay. Problem, you don't necessarily need to print the list. If you want to print the list, you would have to add another control. Let's say you could add a control to this area here underneath type of vehicle that could have the names of the vehicles there. Okay, so you could do that, but for the exercise, it's not being required. But by all means, you're welcome to put in a list box here on the sides that has all the cars. Actually, it would be a good addition. Yes, it would be a good addition to the exercise, to have a list box here that you could add every single car that's been added to the list. It could be a good addition. Yeah, it could be the names, correct. You could have the names there. Well, if you want to display every info, you could do that using the easiest way to do that visually would be to use a grid list, a list grid. Grid list or list grid? Let me see here the name. So now it's a little bit more complicated to work with that kind of control, but you could use this one here. See, you could use a data grid view, or let me see another one here. Yeah, actually that would be the best one, a data grid. Let me see if there is another one here. Because with a data grid, you could have different columns in the grid that would allow you to display different properties. Okay, so you could try that. Now, you need a little bit of more real estate, more space, to make sure that your screen can fit that. Okay? Great. Okay, so no problem. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to demonstrate the class part, the beginning of the exercise. Who had a chance to complete at least the classes, the 3 classes? Can you please just give me some feedback there? If you had a chance to complete, you may do that via Padlet, that's fine. But did you have a chance to complete the classes? You can send in private if you want as well, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Again, if you had not had a chance, you should definitely be doing that on your own time from now until next week, okay? Because next week I will be reviewing the full exercise in class, in online class, so that you get ready for your test. But again, take some time, because this is what will help you for the test. Anyway, let me demonstrate the first part here. So let's create a Windows Form app called vehicle app. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, great. So I have a question here. Someone needs help with exercise 16. We're gonna have time for exercise after this demonstration, and then I can work with you to help you on that one. So for now, let's do this demonstration here. So let's create a vehicle app, and I'm gonna go to File, New Project. I'm gonna create a Windows Form app, and here's the name, vehicle app. I'm gonna keep the solution, the solution with its own folder. So I'm gonna uncheck this option. I'm gonna click create. Okay, perfect. So let's see what else we have there. So implement the following 3 classes in the project. So we have vehicle, we have bicycle, and car. So let's start with vehicle. So right click, go to add new class, and the name of the class is vehicle. Here, okay, so I'm gonna add it. Okay, so this is not a regular class, this is an abstract class. So I'm gonna use the keyword abstract. Abstract means that you cannot have instances of this class. However, nothing is stopping you from having a list of those. You cannot create them, but you can have a list of them, of those generic. Okay, so it does not accept objects, but you can make declarations of them. Okay, so let's look at the diagram there. So we have a set of properties here, auto-implemented properties, some of them strings, double, and then an integer as well. So let's put them together. Let's put the properties together. So public string name, and then we have a get and a set, and we're gonna do this for each one of the properties there. Okay. So you're gonna have name, brand, price, warranty, and store. And then we have a constructor. Let's have a look at the constructor. Okay, let's start with the constructor, and then we keep operate as the last one. So constructor vehicle. Let's scroll down here. We have the constructor. It has all the different properties here, 5 arguments. So I'm gonna copy this here. I'm gonna paste the constructor right there. So public vehicle string brand price in warranty and string store. Okay, so let's just break this, make some additional lines here, and then we're just gonna have to set each property to its corresponding parameter. So name equals to name, and it goes on like that until the last one. Very simple one, very straightforward constructor here. So we have a concrete constructor, we have concrete properties as well. They are not abstract properties. We have gets and sets, even though they are auto-implemented, but they are concrete here. And then we have the abstract method called operate. This is an abstract method. It should be implemented in the derived classes. Okay, so we're just gonna declare it. So public abstract string operate. And we're gonna finish like this. Okay, so any questions about the vehicle class, the abstract class? Anything here? Okay, so I'm gonna assume that everybody's doing fine. Again, I have Padlet open if you need something there. Okay, so here's the vehicle class. Let's go to the next one. Then we have bicycle here. So I'm gonna create a second class, right click in the project, go to add class, and I'm gonna say that this is the bicycle. Okay. And bicycle inherits from vehicle. So I'm gonna say inherit from vehicle. Now look, it's complaining. It's complaining because we did not implement operate yet. That's fine. I know that we have to implement operate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, before I implement operate, I'm going to add the properties there. We have terrain and we have tire size. So let's just have a look at them here. Actually, I think that this is... Okay, so look, down here you see that terrain is a string that will have paved and unpaved. Okay, so let's do that. So we have terrain and tire size. So I'm gonna have public tire size, And tire size is an integer, public int. It's an auto-implemented, so I'm going to say get and set. And that's about it. And then we have terrain. So public string terrain. And then we have a get and a set here. Okay, let's have a look at the constructor. We also have a constructor here for the bicycle. So it's gonna take 7 arguments, okay? So I'm just gonna copy this, put it there, so it comes without spaces. So I'm just gonna put some space here and break the line so you can see this better. String store, int tire size, and last but not least, string terrain. Now, what do I have to do here to call the parent constructor? How should I do that? What should I do next to call the parent constructor? Base, exactly. So I'm gonna say base, and then I'm gonna send all parameters. We have, the base has 5 parameters. So the ones that can be set in the parent should be set in the parent. So I'm just gonna give it back. So I'm gonna say name, brand, price, warranty, and store. Okay, so I'm just getting from here, from those parameters, and sending to the parent one. Now, after we do that, we need to set our 2 additional properties, additional parameters to our 2 new properties here. So I'm gonna say terrain size equals to, sorry, tire size equals to tire size, the parameter, and terrain equals to terrain. And that does it. Okay, so we have the constructor of the child class. Again, any questions here? Any questions with the second class? Okay, we are missing something here. We are missing the operate. Okay, so we need to define the operate in the child. That's the reason why we're still getting an error here. Okay, so we're gonna have to say public string operate. Let's see here. So operate doesn't have parameters, so I'm just gonna say this will return, and I think that the definition is there. Should return this message. Okay, so it's a very simple method here. Okay, and we just return this message. Now, here is a quick thing. We do have to include, otherwise we're gonna get this warning, we would have to include the override keyword. Okay, override also works with abstract classes. So if an abstract class, if an abstract method is defined as abstract, sorry, if a method is defined as abstract in the parent, it has to override in the child, like what we're doing now. Okay. And then we need to repeat the same process for the car class. Any questions here for the bicycle one? No questions. Okay, so let's go to the car class. Let's go to the project, add class car. It's gonna inherit from vehicle as well. and you're gonna have to implement the fuel and number of passengers. So fuel is a string, number of passengers is an integer. So let's take care of that. So public int fuel, and we have a get and set, and then we have also number of passengers. So public string, nope, fuel is integer, of course. Fuel is string and number of passengers is integer. Public number of passengers. And we have a get and a set. There we go. So we need to add the constructor. So we have a car constructor with a bunch of parameters there. So let's use a little bit the bicycle one as a reference point. So I'm going to say public car, and then we're gonna send all those parameters. We're gonna send fuel as well instead of that one, and then number of passengers. Okay, and then we're gonna send the 5 that are in the parent. We're gonna send to the base, and we're gonna keep 2 of them to send right here, to set right here. So we're gonna say fuel capital F goes to fuel, and number of passengers, well, there's something strange here. Okay, fuel is string and number of passengers is int. So we have to adjust that. Number of passengers, capital N, set to lowercase n. And we have our constructor. Very easy here. And to wrap the class, to finish things up with the class, we have the operate. So I'm just going to copy the operate from bicycle. And the message will change here. So operate from car. You're gonna do something different here. You're gonna turn on the ignition. So let's see. Yep, turn on ignition. Okay, so we have both our classes here. Sorry, we have all 3 classes, the abstract one and 2 concrete ones inheriting from vehicle. Now the next part, that's the graphical user interface, and you should take care of that. I'm gonna share this code here right now, so you can carry on with the GUI on your own. So I'm gonna open this in Fire Explorer. I'm going to zip this up. So I'm gonna add this file to Slack and to Padlet. So it's on Padlet already, and I'm just gonna add to Slack as well. So you can use this as your starting point to the next part of the exercise, okay? So use this to start your graphical user interface. Your form is there, you need to populate with those controls. So again, get it going. I would like to see more people practicing the exercise. There's only a point of making time for exercise if we get some exercise done, okay? So use it. Here is on Slack. So it's here on Slack, you can get the code there, and it's also on Padlet. Okay, look, right here on Padlet, you can just download and carry on for the second part. Any questions at this point? Anything that is stopping you from progressing? I'm here to take the roadblocks away, okay? Okay, so get things moving. Okay, if you need my help with something and I see that someone needs that help, I'll look at the car constructor. Okay, I'll check that. The car constructor, okay. Okay, so Vishesh, yeah, the car constructor is here. Do you see anything wrong with that? I mean, tell me. Let me try to compile this. Actually, I did not try to compile this yet. Yeah, so it does work. So the bicycle one, okay. Again, the code I just posted there. The code, if you want that code, Vishesh. No problem, no problem. But again, code, I have just uploaded the codes. Okay, great. I'm going to answer this question that was asked privately, but I'm going to answer that to everyone. So in the assignments, if okay, so just going back, there's a question about the assignment. When we create the class, the interface, do we need a new class, a new file for each of them, or can we put in the program.cs? You can go either way. You can create separate files for each interface, each class, or you can put everything in the program.cs. Either way will work just fine. Okay, I hope that this answers the question. Let me see if there's anything else there. Okay, great, awesome. Awesome, awesome, okay. Okay, so there is a question here. If I will be explaining part 2 of the exercise today. No, I will not, because you need this time to do it. You have to do this exercise, and then Next class, we're gonna start with the explanation for this, but from now until then, I'll be providing the source. Now, I'll not be providing the source immediately because you need to give this a good try. In 2 or 3 days, I'll be providing the source code for this on Slack. I'll send you a note. But again, you need to give this a try. I'm not gonna give the source right away without giving a chance for everyone to try this. Okay? No problem. But I'm still around. If you have questions, let me know. Okay, there's a question here. The question is, when assigning parameters to appropriate fields in a constructor, do we always have to use the this keyword or only when the field name is the same as the parameter name? That's the letter. So only when there's a match parameter name, like this one here. I think that we had that. Which one was that? No, it was not this exercise. It was the previous one. We had that in the in the bank. So yeah, so it's only when it's a match, because if it's a match, you need to identify which one are you talking about. Like bank account here. Look, you have to put this because if you don't use this balance and this balance, they both become a reference to the parameter, not to the private field. Okay, so this will make the ambiguity. I don't know how to speak the word, but it will make this not ambiguous. Okay, hope it makes sense. Awesome. Yes, everyone, again, if you are leaving, have a good good night, good week, and I'll see you next week. If from now to remember that deadline for our assignment 4 is Friday, okay? So if anyone has any questions, don't send me code attached to emails, please. If you need to send me code, send me via Slack. You can add the code privately to me on Slack and then send me an email just to say that the code is there. That's the best way, and I can help. I mean, I have a lot of students if they have questions. Now, don't send me your code and ask me to review your code, okay? If you want to send me your code, send me, but ask me a question. I will answer questions, but don't ask me, oh, can you please review my code? No. Ask a concrete, specific question, okay? Also, Mewtwo, Sarab, Juval, very good to have you guys. Very good to see everyone. Again, have a good rest of the week. Christian, great to see you. Thank you, Paul. Okay, everyone, so I'm just gonna close it here. Okay, so have a great rest of the week. I'll see you next week. Bye now.